This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good afternoon, Reds fans, and welcome to another edition of the POSTCAST, brought by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Tim Daniel, and today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. The biggest stage in world soccer is here. Let there be goals on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com to get started now. Well, on tonight's show, we're going to talk about the fact that Spencer Steer just keeps on hitting despite not playing center field very well. Has Eugenio Suárez found his Geno swagger again? The pitching today was awful, and thank God the first half of the season is over. All that and a whole lot more. We're going to start today with the turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Well, the turning point was when the Cincinnati Reds started giving up 4 runs in the 7th inning was a good idea because they battled. They were down 2-0 after the first. They put 4 runs on the board in the 3rd inning, and we're thinking like, yes, we're going to end this on a high note. It's a perfect summary of how that game ended. It's a perfect summary of the first half of the Cincinnati Reds season. This is brutal. The Reds are now 43-52 on the season as we end the high note of the regular season. And yowza, I don't know how much more this is going to go this way. I don't know how much more of these guys we're going to see of these guys come the end of July. Who's going to be here? Who's not? This series was a downfall. Hey, I know a lot of people were asking like where I was yesterday. We went to the game and I announced that multiple times. So I took the day off. Think we all need to recharge our batteries from work some days, so that's all that was. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself, and I should probably do that more often, honestly. But that's neither here nor there. This team has crushed our souls at this point in the season. I don't know how we can keep going in this because if you look around, I mean, there are high notes on the team. If you look at Elliott, you look at Sal Stewart, who's going to be an all-star. You look at Spencer Steer. You look at J.J. Bleday. We're going to get the Geno here in a second. On the pitching side of things, you look at Chase Burns. You see Hunter Green comes back and has this really great game on Friday. Nick Lodolo is going to end his career because he can't figure out his grip on his pitches, and he wants to keep getting blisters. I don't know. It was frustrating because I feel like this is a team, and the bullpen was pitching really well for a while. I was coming in here and I was kind of making points of that. And then today the bullpen just was awful, as they have been majority of the year. This is just one of these days where I don't understand how we're going to continue to have sanity watching this team night after night. And me especially, I'm kind of figuring out how I'm going to handle this night after night. I'm trying to take my fan hat off and just kind of treat this as a job the rest of the year. Will I succeed in that? Heck no. No way whatsoever. But I'm going to try because it's the only way I can come on here. If I'm emotionally reactive to everything, it's going to be bad. Yeah. I mean, I see the chat right now. A lot of people are talking about the Cubs it felt loud enough that it felt like the Cubs fans outdid the Reds fans in the ballpark. And maybe they did. I didn't take the time to count every single person in the stands, but it certainly felt that way at times. I just, this team continues to have issues, and I know that today they were so running score position. They were 2 for 7. And then you look at, their inability to be consistent on the bullpen side of things, their inconsistency to play good defense. They, throw guys like Spencer Steer to play center field 2 out of 3 games. This is not good. And we sure have a lot to look forward to the rest of the way, right? I don't know how we can keep going through this, but we'll figure it out together, people. We will figure this out together. Let's get to the pitching side of things because...
Uh-oh, somebody messed up, and it's time to let them know with who fudged up.
Because pitching was really bad today, and it starts with Andrew Abbott only going 4 innings. That's a nice start to the day, right? No, it's not? Okay. So 4 innings of 4-run ball with 3 strikeouts and 3 walks. Obviously, we all know that he's better than that, and we've seen him pitch pretty well for a while now. But just kind of here, having that outing stinks, especially because he's a guy who, like Black Mamba says here, he's a guy who normally plays very well against the Cubs. Normally, he goes out there and he's pretty promising against them. Nope, not today. Chase Petty, I know, gets saddled with the loss, was probably the best pitcher of the day for the team for his 2 innings. Does give up a run, but has 2 strikeouts. That is kind of promising there. I'm not sure what he's going to be for the while now, but then Sam Maul doesn't do his job. He walks P. Crow Armstrong, which means they got to bring in Pierce Johnson, and that's where the game falls apart. No disrespect to Pierce Johnson whatsoever. And then Rhett Lauder throws 2 innings at the end, and I don't know, he had that weird thing on his hand where he was kind of bleeding and didn't look promising, but sounds like he's going to be back in the rotation when we come back from the All-Star break, because Nick Lodolo is probably going to just end his career because he doesn't know how to change his grip on his pitches and just loves getting blisters. I don't know how this keeps happening. I don't know how we've gotten to this point with him so many times now. And I don't know if this is negligence on the Red side. I don't know if this is Nick Lodolo being stubborn. I don't know if this is just the medical staff just has no idea how to put together. Not like they're geniuses by any stretch, because I feel like we've been dealing with constant injuries for players for a long time. But that's got to be goal number 1 for the rest of the year for Nick Lodolo, whether there's baseball or not, whether he's a member of the Cincinnati Reds or not. He is wasting his career away with this blister thing. And now they won't be able to trade him at the break. But that's yesterday, okay? Today, Andrew Abbott wasn't very good, and you can live with him having a bad start here and there. It just sucks because it's the Cubbies, but this season's not going anywhere. We know where we're at now. What are they now, 17 and a half out? 15 and a half out. Not much better. Not much better. But especially considering the Pirates just beat up on the Brewers this weekend. Whew, good Lord. That was pretty impressive. So, we know they're sellers. We know that now there's a lot of interest in Spencer Steer. So I have a feeling by the end of July, I'm going to be talking about a whole lot of different players on this team. But we'll see. Hey, you know what, though? One of the nice things from today that we can take away is that Eugenio Suárez looks like he's kind of finding his groove again. And I think that's certainly a good thing for the Reds. So let's talk about Gino's hot stretch and more right after this. But first, we got to say a big thank you to our friends at Amazon for this limited break. This back-to-school season, spend less on your kids with Amazon. We all know how crazy the back-to-school shopping experience can be. It starts with a few items on the list, then suddenly you're shopping for supplies, clothes, lunch gear, tech, and 10 other things you didn't see coming. It adds up quick. When you buy clothes for back to school, then your kid has a growth spurt 2 weeks later, and you're right back where you started. Sometimes it genuinely feels like they're growing faster than you can keep up. When your kid's definition of need for back to school shopping is a lot different than your definition of need, somehow the list keeps getting longer every time they look at it. Explaining the need versus want conundrum this time of year has become an annual part of the process. When you start shopping for a few back-to-school essentials and realize how quickly the list grows. Supplies, clothes, lunch gear, headphones, it just keeps going. That's why finding low prices on all the things you need make it such a difference in this time of year. So remember, with Amazon's low back-to-school prices, just spend less on your kids, because every dollar you don't spend on them is a dollar you haven't spent on them. Shop back to school at Amazon and spend less on your kids. Thank you again to our everydayers here on the postcast as we discuss the Cincinnati Reds once again stinking up the joint with a 8-4 loss today to the Chicago Cubs, and yet another game. Maybe I'll do this during the break. I'm going to go through all the box scores and see how many times the Reds have lost a game that they at some point had the lead in, because I can tell you it's a lot. But hey, if you're already an everydayer, please be sure to step up and join your everydayer game and join the Locked On Reds Everydayer Club. You have $5 a month or $50 a year. You get access to ad-free episodes of all of your favorite Locked On shows. You also get access to our Discord chat. We're all in there talking ball, and we want to talk ball with all of you. And of course, while I will be gone this All-Star break, you still will get Locked On Reds content, as Jeff and Steve will be here Monday through Friday, getting you ready for the, I guess, not technically second half of the season, because they've already played 93 games and 81's halfway. Whatever. We're just doing too much and looking into it at this point. want to talk about Eugenio Suárez real quick. Because I guess if I've got to do a lockdown player of the game because you have to give it to your team, it's got to be him.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
So I know this is kind of a little bit of a twisted button that a lot of people seem to really focus on the negatives instead of the positives and so on and so forth. But Gino's kind of doing what we need Gino to do again. If you're looking for this guy to have a 250 batting average, that's not him. What I'm looking for, are you hitting homers? Are you drawing walks? And he's been doing that of late. That 208 batting average probably is not super attractive. Gino's not the kind of guy you're looking for that. Would you like to see him get more hits? Absolutely, you'd like to see him get more hits. But in his last 15 games, his OPS is at 876. As we know, league average is 750. So that's promising. In his last 15 games, he has 4 homers, 9 runs batted in, and 8 walks. That's what the Reds need from him. And I've kind of said that I'm sure the Reds would probably like to trade him if they can get something for him, and I'm not against it. But as a fan favorite, as such a big fan of his, and so happy he came back to the team this year, I do want to see him end the season here. Do I think it's going to happen? Kinda, honestly, because I don't think the Reds are going to get an offer they're going to be super excited about because it took him a long time to get to this point. Could you see teams offer stuff for him as just a power hitter to have in their team and to make a playoff chase? Yeah, absolutely. Could you see Gino ending up on the Marlins for the second half of the year? For sure. Do you want to? No, I don't, because I want to see him here. But I really have liked what they've got from him of late. I don't care that he strikes out, just like with Ellie. I don't care about Ellie's strikeouts. I care about, are you putting the ball over the wall? And of late, he's been doing just that. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to enjoy it. And like I said, they trade him, so be it. But selfishly, as a huge fan of his, I would like to see him in the season here. I just don't know what's going to happen here. We'll see. It's going to be a really interesting time towards the trade deadline. And another name that's getting a lot of attention there is Spencer Steer, who is a center fielder now, apparently.
It's time to reveal who made the biggest under-the-radar impact with today's X Factor.
So he had 3 hits today, and 2 hits. Sorry, 2 hits. I'm getting ahead of my skis there, but he swung the bat pretty well of late. So I kind of just talked about Gino's trends. His trends being Spencer Steer's last 15, 286, 375 on base, 367 slugging. Does only have 1 homer in the time, but has 5 walks and 14 hits and 7 runs scored. As much as I understand, I know this is going to sound dumb of why would I want to trade Spencer Steer and not Gino, because Spencer Steer's younger and has more baseball left. I agree. I'm open to it. I'm open to the thought process. Apparently the Blue Jays are a team that have expressed interest. I think I heard the Yankees may have also been a team that's expressed interest. They've also expressed interest in Tyler Stevenson. So that's going to also be something to watch for. But for Steer, he just keeps hitting. And it's been so nice to see him find that, because last year was such a struggle with the shoulder injury. And it's been up and down this year. It's definitely kind of been disappointing at times and exciting at times. I don't love him playing center field, and you saw a few things with that today. The first runs there when he doesn't make the call. Him and Edwin Arroyo, Noah Marte, almost clashed at one point, calling for a ball in the outfield. Didn't love that either. Certainly risky, but now it's just kind of this situation where they got to get it all together, and if that means Spencer Steer's here, great. If not, bummer. No, Johnny. We're not doing that. No, sir. No, sir. No Elliott to center field conversations. We do not allow that here on the Reds Postcast. Elliott's been fantastic as a shortstop. Let's keep it where it's at and be happy with it. That's all I'm going to say. You're my guy, though. I still love you. I love having you here every single day. But with Steer, no, he should not be playing center field. But maybe if they can get a package for him, I'm open to it. We'll see. We got a few weeks till the deadline goes, and we got to figure out a lot of things until then. But today, as we close out the pre-All-Star break part of the season, the Reds did lose to the Chicago Cubs 8-4. The Cubs have 8 runs on 9 hits and no errors. The Reds have 4 runs on 9 hits and no errors. Matthew Boyd is your winning pitcher. He is 5-1 with a 4.50 ERA. Chase Petty takes the loss. He is 1-2 with a 4.38. And Jacob Webb gets his 5th save of the year for the Cubbies. And now the Reds are off until Friday, where they will be now heading to Old Coors Field to take on the Colorado Rockies. Now, we know at the moment that Brady Singer will start the series. He is 3-9 with a 4.72 ERA, another potential guy to be talking about possibly not being a Cincinnati Red for the second half of the year. But hey, I'm going to take a couple of days off, prop up my feet, enjoy myself. Thank you all for everything so far this first part of the season. I know it hasn't been the most fun season to be a Reds fan, but the fact that you guys are still here with me every single day means a whole lot to me. But enjoy the few days without the All-Star break. Like I said, Jeff and Steve will still be here Monday through Friday putting stuff out for you. I'm Tim Daniel. Go Red Legs. I'll see you on Friday.